Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Alright, we're sticking along with the Marvel comic books and we're hopping along a few more issues here. First off, I want to start off where we left off with issue number 13. And this one, Luke is going to help his former captor, Governor Quarg, battle the Dragon Lords. Think about that, Dragon Lords. That's a good name for a band. Anyway, they're also a group of Nail-Do-Wearers, and Luke is going to assist Governor Quarg and help him out to defeat them. In the meantime, Luke, Han, Leia, and Crimson Jack have arrived on Drexel, and so now the plot thickens. Pieces are falling together. Now, this book is kind of interesting because Governor Quarg recounts a memory from the Old Republic that features Jedi, something that later on Lucasfilm would never let anyone talk about. You weren't allowed to talk about what happened way back in the past like that. But Governor Quarg goes back and recounts a story, and they have a little bit of a flashback of some kind of battle that took place. Now, this is kind of interesting because, back then, they didn't really care. I don't know if George thought he was going to make any prequels at the time, but it's still kind of a good point to make. Now, anyway, after that, of course, you go to issue number 14, and basically in this issue, it wraps up the entire Drexel storyline. What's going to happen how do they get off Drexel? How do they escape Crimson Jack? Where do they go from there? How's it end with Governor Quarg and the Dragon Lords? So that's basically all it's about. The next one after that is number 15, and this one, Crimson Jack and Han Solo have their final showdown, dun dun dun, in space. Now, remember I told you where I thought in the Lando novels where Lando goes after someone, they have a battle out in space. It was really cool. Well, of course, the comic books had already done this, and they did this as early as issue number 15. As you can see, they're wearing their little bubble helmets, and their hands are just out there in space. On the cover. Not really something that's believable today, but remember back then, that's the only image you needed was Han Solo duking it out with someone in outer space, mano a mano. It's a fun one, and spoiler alert, it's the end of Crimson Jack. Boo-hoo. So that's basically what it ties up. It's basically wrapping up all of the old storylines because they're about to jumpstart into a new storyline of new villains and new adventures to have. Now, after 15, you don't read 16. You have to skip ahead to 24. Issue 24 basically says it begins after the events of Crimson Jack and Drexel for some reason. It's them flying all the way back, and Leia is telling her story of a young Obi-Wan, a Jedi Knight Obi-Wan from the Old Republic. This was written by Mary Jo Duffy. It was not written by Archie Goodwin. It was Mary Jo Duffy who wrote this issue. And for whatever reason, they wanted to put it right in here. I don't know why they felt, well, I guess I do know why. They wanted to do an Obi-Wan story, right? Obi-Wan back in the glory days. Well, dang, he looks old. Has he always been old? He doesn't look like Ewan McGregor. That's because Sir Alec Guinness was old, and they wanted to connect it to look like Sir Alec Guinness was doing it, because that's the only face we had. And to be honest, this doesn't make a contradiction at all. Obi-Wan probably went on several missions back in the day, and he probably didn't look that way. That's just how Leia remembers him, and that's how she's telling the story through her, memory of the current Obi-Wan Kenobi. The story is actually not that bad. I remember reading through these the first time years ago and thinking, oh, an Obi-Wan story. Oh, I don't think there haven't been that many of those Obi-Wan stories out there, and there hadn't at the time. So that was kind of unique, something different they decided to do, and it was actually a pretty decent story. So there you have it. There's the next 4 issues I'm going to talk about. I'll see you next time with more videos.